Hello friends and fellow party people. So I am here on Sunday to bring to you the beginning of another fabulous week. So I am getting started making a lasagna. It is only like 11 a.m. but I want to get everything started and I have a busy day in my house. I am not leaving. I'm not going out there. We have been getting snow like crazy. It is freezing right now. It's only in the teens. So I plan on staying in again today, although I must say I have a little bit of cabin fever and I kind of want to get out of the house, but not so much so that I'm actually going to do it. So anyway, I will be showing you how I meal plan, and I am going to work on an inventory today since I am stuck in the house. It's too cold to go outside. I will go out in my backyard and take care of the chickens, but I don't want to be out driving around. Kind of feel like I want to shop, which is really helping with that impulse. So thank you, Mother Nature, for helping save my budget. But I don't know if you can see behind me, I have some ingredients on my counter. We're gonna go in there and get started on making lasagna. Bill is coming home from his pool tournament today, and he has mentioned it several times during phone calls and texts that he is really hoping that we have lasagna soon. So I'm going to get that made up so that when he gets home, we can have it for dinner. Anyway, let's get started. Okay, in my trusty frying pan, I'm adding my ground beef. So I just added some salt and pepper to my ground beef. I like to season every layer, and so that means seasoning the meat, seasoning the sauce, the noodles if you cook them, like adding salt to your water, which we won't be doing with these today because they're no-boil noodles. And I apologize for being so repetitive with my recipes because this has been featured before in my videos, and then I also added it in our favorites of 2024 because my family loves this version of lasagna. But here we go again. I told you, it's a favorite. All right, I have my chopped onions that I'm getting ready to put in the pan with the meat. And I've also got my garlic all prepared. I've just chopped it up really fine. We're just going to get everything mixed in together, and I'm going to turn my heat down because I did not realize I still had my pan turned up high. Oh boy. Makes it feel more homemade, and you can already smell all of that garlic. There's nobody here today to tell me how good this smells, so I'll just tell myself. Next, I'm adding a tablespoon of granulated beef bouillon, and I'm using a can of store-brand Rotel. Now, definitely make sure you do not go overboard with your beef base because that can ruin your recipe because it is very salty. I have done that too many times in the past. I literally have to remind myself in my head to take it easy. I'm adding a half a can of water. And I am using a pack of spaghetti sauce mix. And this is where, you know, I kind of shake my head at Bill for calling it red less. But anyway, this is in place of the spaghetti sauce or marinara sauce, pasta sauce, whatever you call it. It has a lot of herbs in it. It does have tomato powder in it, so you could definitely make this yourself if you don't want to use it out of a package. Right there's the ingredients. It has tomato powder, garlic powder, spices, green peppers, and paprika, as well as the thickening agents and whatnot. So I do have tomato bouillon and I have cornstarch, and I could make that myself. It's just very convenient to me, and it only costs about $1. So that's what I use. But actually, now that I look at it, it has thickened up a little too much for my liking. I know some of you who have never seen me make this before are probably thinking, what? Because it looks like a great start to a sauce. But I want it to be really thin. And I keep it on the runny side because the lasagna noodles soak it all that liquid right up in. And while it's in the oven, it just bakes right into those noodles, and it's so good. So I'm just going to put that bay leaf right down in the center there, put the lid on, and let this simmer. I add a little bit of brown sugar sometimes. Today, I'm not really feeling it, but my husband likes it, and it does add a little something if you're into it. You don't have to do this part. And in fact, I'm really going light here, maybe a teaspoon. But I also forgot to add the crushed red peppers. Look at how low our stash of peppers is, so I need to get that on my grocery list. Now I will get the lid on, and we're good this time, for real. Well, what in the world? I guess my fridge needs to be turned down, but my ricotta cheese is frozen. I'm going to pop it in the microwave and try to thaw that out. I don't know if it's going to change the texture or what, but I really don't know what else to do. Well, not only did it change the texture, but it also exploded. And now I have a huge mess in my microwave, so... You know, that's what I'm here for, to show you everything that can go wrong in the kitchen. It is not always perfect. And we're just going to try to chop this up as good as possible. We've got some frozen parts of this ricotta, and there's some really soupy hot stuff happening here, but I'm gonna let it sit and just kind of do its own natural thaw. Cracked a little funky, and I was very worried about getting eggshell in there, so I had to go off camera for a second. I'm adding what's left of this Parmesan cheese into the bowl. It's about a half of a cup, and I have some Italian seasoning that we're gonna throw in there. We're gonna go light with it because I have a person in our household who is not very fond of Italian seasoning. Oops. Next, I've got about a tablespoon of garlic powder and about a teaspoon of onion powder. And I'm going to sprinkle in some ground white pepper. I'm not adding any salt to this part because of the cheeses that are in here. And to me, cheese adds a salty taste sometimes. Okay, I confess I did taste this, and it is so good. It's only a confession because, yes, there's raw egg in there. But I always taste things that have egg in it. And I'm still here. I am just throwing in the last bit of that really finely grated Parmesan cheese, the stuff right out of the bag. Let's remove that leaf. First, I'm going to add a layer of the sauce to the bottom of my dish. And I just broke my noodles to make them fit. Then I'm coming back in with another layer of sauce. Now we're going to layer the provolone cheese in there. I love using these slices. They melt really nicely. And you just get a really like ooey gooey cheesy layer, and that is so satisfying to me. And I always say I love how you can fit more lasagna noodles in as you go higher in the pan with the layers. It just kind of stretches everything out for some reason. And now I'm just going to start plopping the ricotta mixture all around in little piles. And this just makes it easier to spread it out once you get all of your little piles assembled without dragging the ingredients that are underneath it and getting it all mixed, kind of like when you're frosting a cake. We'll just smooth that out like that. Then we'll put the remaining sauce on top. That's it. I have my last layer of cheese, which I'll use the remaining slices of provolone to put on top. And I'm also going to cover my dish with a baking sheet foil. I just haven't been using foil much lately. And so, anyway, I've been just kind of covering my dishes with a metal baking pan, and it's been working fine. There we go. We'll start with that, and if it doesn't melt and spread and make it look like I want it to, then I'll add some mozzarella on top too. But anyway, I'm gonna cover it, get it in the oven. I'm going to put it on 375. The lasagna is done. It has been sitting out and it has been like cooling off. It's still warm, but as you can see, I can touch it and it looks perfect to me. We're gonna get ready and cut into it. There we have it. I am just serving it up with some salad on the side. Oops, I'm messing it up. Anyway, that is how the lasagna turned out. Nice and crispy and so delicious and cheesy. So I just decided that I am going to whip up some fire cider. And here is a recipe that I'm looking at with the ingredients. It says 13 ingredients, but you know me, I'm going to do it my own way. Oh, yeah, I forgot the turmeric. Oh, well, let's just throw some stuff together. And again, this is just on Pinterest. It's the rustic elk.
Gravel road, I've been asked to slow down. Fireplace, do you know how? Piles of paper, my desk is out. Who will care for the world now? Rest with me, close to curtains, brew some herbal tea. Reach out for me, take my hand and lead even when I disagree. Oh, how I love when it rains outside, and it's okay to slow the ride. Discover books I forget about, but who care for the world now?
jars were stored in the refrigerator, and I just opened them and took a sip here and there as needed, and they were right on time because I got sick right after I made them. And the next day we went to Chinese, but I was unable to eat any of this except for the dumplings, and I just sipped on some soup because I just wasn't feeling well. This carried over to the next day. I made it through the workday, but I came home very tired and weak feeling. Here you see my roll of toilet paper, my Gatorade Zero, and some cottage cheese. That was all I felt like having that day. I have not had breakfast in so long, and today just seems like the right time to do it. And yes, I'm making two kinds of sausage. I've got some Jimmy Dean already pre-cooked sausage patties there, and these are Swaggerty. Hello, good morning. It's another get dinner started before work day. I have some frozen boneless, skinless chicken breast, you know, the kind you get in a bag. And I also have a pound of ground beef. I'm just gonna make sure that that ground beef is all kind of broken up. I'm gonna use 2 pounds of ground beef because I think I want a little extra to put in some rice later, maybe. I don't know, but if I decide I do, I'll have it. Next, I'm adding onions to both sides. I'm gonna split the jalapeno up both sides. Taco seasoning. I have all of this salsa. I've got a really big jar this time, and I know I never use it for what I intended it for. I'm going to add a little bit of water to the chicken side. That is it for now. I'm just going to put it on low, and we're good to go. Okay, I'm getting ready to go to work, but first I have to head out to the chicken coop. Mornings are always busy, but especially when you have animals to take care of. Hello, my friends. I bring you food. So they are getting some chickpeas today. It's a little too early in the morning to collect eggs. They like one kind of food, which they are out of. They have a ton of the pellets, which they refuse to eat. I usually let them decide if they want to go out or stay in their run. And it's been so cold lately that they just have been staying in. But I'm going to change out their water. The water heater has been a game changer. And then I'm off to work for real. Buddy, you don't want garbanzo beans, I promise. They didn't get anything good. Nothing you want. I'm back in. I just want to show you real quick that I was given this case of chickpeas or garbanzo beans by somebody who received them from the food bank and didn't want them. So I brought them home and figured the chickens would like them. I'm just setting out my shells for later, and we have this queso sauce that we're going to use as well. So when we get home, dinner will be pretty much ready, at least the meat will be. Sorry, I'm breathless. It's really cold outside, but I'm getting ready to, well, I'm warming up my car. I think my hair froze. So I'm getting ready to head in. I do have to stop at Tractor Supply on the way. There's always something. I swear I can't keep up with life. Oh, okay, sorry. I just got done like trying to scrape the ice off the car. Sorry it's very loud in here because I have the heater on blast. But I'm ready to go. I'll see you when I get back from work. Got to make that stop to get chicken food or else I'm going to kick myself in the butt. I really got to just do it. But I don't know. When it's cold out, I don't like to get out and go anywhere. So I've been putting it off, and then just feeding the chickens veggies and stuff from the fridge, and lentils and chickpeas. Yep, my hair, it keeps freezing. It's so cold. I'm over winter. Who else is with me on that one?
Say something like you love me and make my day, like you always do, like you always do. Hold my hand and look me in the eye so I can tell you how I feel, tell you how I feel. Every day is something new. If I spend it with you, with you, with you. Oh, I want you right now, and I need you right now.
Okay, it's several hours later. I'm hauling in that chicken food, and it smells delicious walking into the house. That's what I always like to come home to. Dinner in the crock pot. Just drop that off. And let's go see how it looks. Oh, wow. So I guess I need to get the meat masher and get this stuff smashed up. Right now I have one big meatball. I'm making some rice in the rice cooker. I'm just going to dump in about a tablespoon of chicken bouillon and about a tablespoon of tomato bouillon, a drizzle of olive oil, the remainder of the jar of salsa, put the lid on, and turn it on. All right, I did come back and add these 3 ingredients to our rice. Was a little distracted, but I'm on track now. The rice cooker has flipped over to the keep warm stage, and it is time to fluff. I'm going to do a little jumping around here because that's what happens when you are cooking with cast iron. And that's what I'm doing over here. I've got some oil heating up in my cast iron pan. I'm heating up some oil as well. In the smaller skillet, I'm going to make some refried beans. Unfortunately, my pan is too hot. Let's move it off the eye for a minute. Let it come back down. Now that I've done the chicken ones, I'm just going to repeat with the beef. Well, we have rolled around to the end of the week or the beginning of the weekend. It's Saturday, and yep, I am still feeling under the weather, and I want some soup. And I'm going to make it up as I go. I have no idea what I'm going to put in here. It's just going to kind of happen. So, chicken bouillon, because you want to have some stock. Oh, and I guess I didn't say that I'm putting 3 frozen chicken breasts in there. Next, I'm going to pour in some water. Two quarts. Next, I'm adding some onion. If it looks like a lot of onion, it's because it is. Something is telling me today that I want a lot of onion and a lot of garlic. Yesterday it was lemon. I just couldn't get enough. I just ate lemon wedge after lemon wedge. And today I want onions and garlic. When my body is asking for certain things, I try to listen to it. Mostly because it won't shut up. It'll be like, remember that time I asked you for lemons and you didn't give me lemons? Anyway, in goes the garlic. I had some carrots that I wanted to use up, but they went bad. But it's okay because I keep bags of peas and carrots in my freezer. They'll work just fine. I'm really a little upset that I left carrots go bad. Later, I'm going to add some egg noodles, but right now, we're going to let everything else cook. I'm adding a can of cream of chicken and a can of cream of mushroom. And I know there are some ingredients in canned cream of soup that are not good for you, but you know what they say, pick your poison. All right, we're just gonna let that go for now. Be back in a little bit. I removed the chicken breast. I'm just going to get those chopped up or shredded up. I have my pot of soup and my jar of noodles. See if I can do this with one hand. Nope, I can't. And they sunk in there. Bill and I went out to eat at Red Lobster last night. So yeah, that is 2 times this week that we went out to eat, which is not normal for us. But I brought home some of the Cheddar Bay biscuits. So I'm going to have, oh, I thought someone took a bite out of that one, but it's not, it's just the edge. Anyway, we're going to have these with our soup tonight. Oh, and it's been one of those days. I told you I just didn't feel good today. But I've had just, I did a little cleaning, and then I did a whole lot of just like napping and reading. And it's been so nice knowing that I had a pot of soup cooking. All I had to do was check on it a couple of times, add some ingredients here and there, and it is ready, and I am ready too. I want to be warmed up and just cozy. I feel a little bad that I didn't really do much today, but decided show myself a little grace. And what I did do today was enough. Did a little bit of housework. We all deserve a day of rest. I'm just going to add a little bit of black pepper and set my cheddar bay biscuit on my little plate if it'll fit. Okay, we'll break it. There we go. And because I am now going to go relax a little more and take it easy, and hopefully I feel better by tomorrow. I've just been kind of feeling like I'm getting a little better and then backtracking, but I guess maybe if I give myself more time and actually relax, then I might actually get over it. I feel like I've been sick for a very long time. Anyway, I thank you for coming by again this week, and I will see you in the next one.